Hello, friends. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we are going to take a closer look at the October 2020 energy forecast for life path number 22-4. That's master number 22-4. 22s, I would suggest listening to the reading for life path 4, since that is your actual life path. 22 is just an extension of that energy. So before I get into the reading, I want to mention that October is a 5 universal month. And what that means is basically collectively, we could all have influences of that 5 energy this month. That energy holds the opportunity for lots of changes, lots of transformations, oftentimes frequent, unexpected. And so that can feel a little challenging at times because we as humans don't like change by nature. And so the best way to embrace that energy is to surrender and go with the flow as much as possible. And of course, for 22 fours and fours especially, that can be challenging. We like to have control. And so, but we often find pretty quickly that we have little control over our experiences. We only have control over how we move through them. And so the more that you can go with the flow this month, the more comfortable that you'll feel. Another aspect of that 5 energy that we could feel is the desire or urge for travel, adventure, expansion. And that's not surprising given the current climate with the restrictions with COVID and all of that. And so you may have this extra urge to want to step outside your comfort zone, do some, take some risks, go traveling, whatever. If you can't actually physically go traveling somewhere because of restrictions or limitations, then by all means try to satiate that desire by, doing something virtually to expand your mind, to grow, to explore, that sort of thing. Read a good book, take another language, maybe take an online course. The options are endless, really. I'm sure that you've explored many of those given the last, several months of 2020, but you may feel that urge even more so. And, maybe you can have a staycation of sorts, or maybe you can travel locally somewhere. That's up to you to explore and see what you're able to do at this time. But you're definitely called to give into those desires because your soul is wanting a little bit of freedom and a little bit of exploration. So however you can mitigate that. Another thing with that 5 energy that you may feel come in is this sort of urge to live in excess. And so, overspending, overeating, over drinking, whatever, just like that living in excess sort of mentality. And so the call of the 5 is to find moderation and to find balance. And so when you find yourself living in an extreme of physically or emotionally or whatever, then this is a call to come back to your balance, find that equilibrium, however you can do that. And so you may have opportunities to explore that this month as well. So when you feel like you're kind of out of control or things are getting chaotic or you're living in an extreme, then that is your cue to find your way back to your equilibrium, okay? So what I want to do is break down the month of October into 4 weeks, and I'm going to look at those energies. Of course, the energy is fluid, so, they could come in at varied times for you. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This, of course, is a general reading, so if you would like to take a closer look at your own personal energies, I would love to do that for you, so just book some time with me on my website. All right, so for the first week of October 22s, you guys are getting this beautiful energy of feeling like the tables are turning, like things are shifting in your favor. Where things may have felt slow going or moving sort of stagnant, or you felt like you were again walking through mud, things are feeling like they're turning for you. This is a turning point, it feels like, in a good way. It feels very light and very supported. And so, with 4s and 22s, we are charged with needing to do each step meticulously and not being able to skip steps. And that can get incredibly frustrating. So, we still aren't allowed to skip steps. That's just part of our nature. We have to master each step before we can go to the next step. But I feel like there is a turning point at the beginning of October, especially for 22s, where things may have felt very, very slow going. You're getting a shift now, and the energy is shifting. And so that's really positive. So embrace that. So much so that, your energy this month, 22, is actually really, really beautiful. And so some of the other numbers got some somewhat challenging aspects, but for 22s, you guys, it's almost like you guys are getting the green light this month to move forward at a fast clip. And, if you do that methodically and, follow your inner compass and your intuition, I feel like the rewards could be really great for you. So at the beginning of the very beginning of the month, with this Aries full moon, I feel like you're going to see a shift, and it's up to you what you do with that shift. Come that second week of October, you've actually got this very fast moving energy. It's almost like in the first week you get the green light, and then the second week it all makes sense and you just start running forward, doing each step, of course, because we can't skip steps, but it's almost like you get the green light and it's like no holds bar, off you go. And so there's this fast moving energy to come the second week. It may feel a little chaotic, but not in a bad way. It's kind of like, when you have all your ducks in a row and you're feeling very, very productive, not in an obligated kind of way, but in a living in purpose kind of way. And you have all these beautiful things that you're accomplishing and doing and feeling like you're making a difference and all of that. That's what this energy feels like this second week of October for 22s. It's like you got the green light, and now you've got, there's a lot going on, but it's all in purpose. And so it feels very, very good. Like this is what 22s thrive on. And so, you guys are the master builders. And so it's kind of like you just got the green light to build, a Coliseum, and you're like excited because you can't wait to go to the games in the Coliseum. I don't know. I have no idea where that came from. But yeah, so beautiful energy, very fast moving, you could feel a little chaotic, but not in the traditional sense of chaos, but in like that, like living in purpose and moving fast in purpose. And yeah, really, really beautiful energy. Then we move into the third week of October. You've got some major clarity coming in for you, some kind of communication, some kind of, it just feels like communication that gives you clarity. And so that could be coming from somebody else. It's almost as if you are walking through the clouds and all of a sudden the clouds part and you can see very clearly now. It's like that. And the information that you receive, it's up to you what you do with it, but just understand that it is guided and it can be trusted. And so you just need to be sure to not have too much self-doubt come in. And if you do have self-doubt come in, to go ahead and just squash that, because you're only standing in your own way. So again, this could be, a communication. I feel like this is coming into you. I don't feel like this is you giving clarification to somebody else, but it could be. But for the most part, I feel like it's some kind of clarity coming in for you, and it's like all of a sudden that aha light bulb moment that's giving you the missing pieces to the puzzle. And so as we move into the fourth week of October, you have major cause for celebration. And so I feel like you can kind of see how this story is unfolding. At the beginning of the month, you have sort of this shift in energy and the green light. And then you have this fast moving energy that's allowing you to work in purpose, full throttle. And then you have this clarity coming in and this clarification, almost like confirmation that you're on the right path, that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And that feels good. And that leads to this celebration, this feeling of joy, this feeling of coming together, of collaboration. And that's really what I'm feeling for you guys at the end of the month, is this sense of collaboration. So if there's a project that you've been wanting to work on with somebody, or you wanted to initiate with somebody, this is your opportunity to do this. And I feel like it's very, very supported. So I feel like the camaraderie will be strong and the output will be strong. And so, yeah, it feels really, really good, and definitely cause for celebration. So this, for 22s, this month really feels like a go month. It feels like a great opportunity for doing work in purpose and doing it in a, where you're not being held back anymore. You're kind of like, you've got the green light and you can go. So that feels really, really good. And then I pulled a card for like the overall energy for the month, an animal spirit card. And what I got for you guys was porcupine spirit. And I love that. It's time for a beginner mind. And that really sort of is all encompassing for October for you guys, I feel like, because I feel like when this energy shifts at the beginning of the month, and then you've got that fast forward, fast moving energy, it's almost like you're starting something new, but you could be doing something that you've been doing for a while, but the energy, the call is to have a beginner's mind. So when you can go back and have a beginner's mind to whatever it is that you've been working on, you start to see things more clearly. You start to see those details that you might have missed because you were doing things out of sort of like autopilot, right? And so if you can have that beginner's mind where you're learning and you're taking everything in like a sponge, then you're more prone to notice the details and notice the pieces that you might have missed. And so I feel like there's going to be opportunities for you to do that this month. And so really take advantage of that. And it doesn't, there's no, success is not about how much you know. Okay. It's like sometimes being successful means how much are you willing to be open to learn more, right? And so even if you are the expert at whatever this is that you're working on, there's always room for advancement and improvement and, new insights and, new perspectives. And so this month, you're really being asked to take a closer look at those projects that you've been working on for quite some time that maybe you are on autopilot with, and see where you can find those new special gems, those little details that you might have missed, but that are critical to the progress forward. So really beautiful energy, 22s. And I love to see this for you guys. It's kind of like being the master builder and being so kind of, wanting to go and do your work and in that practical mindset. It's like you have the green light this month and you will actually see the rewards for that. So it's really beautiful energy. And it's like, as long as you cannot get, as long as you stay out of your ego head, okay, is in the sense that you may feel like you know it all, but do you? So where can you open some space up for learning and have that beginner mind and see things with new eyes, okay? I feel like that's going to bring you a lot of clarity and a lot of joy if you can do that. So yeah, beautiful energy. So yeah, if you would like a personalized reading, then go ahead and book some time with me. Otherwise, I will see you all here again soon, 22s. Take care. Bye for now.